Hi, everyone. This is Arctis of Spielheim, playing as I want. From the last episode, I have not done any big projects. I definitely know that's not what I wanted in this Minecraft world, but it was necessary for further projects. Actually, what I wanted is big projects that change whole terrain and need lots of resources. So, in this episode, I will return to the first intention. Doing big things that need lots of resources like both blocks and time. That is why I was flying around in the nether dimension. I was finding a nether fortress suitable for this project. I needed a fortress located on or close by a lava lake. Actually, I had already found one before and had written its coordinates. So, I just needed to fly to the right place, but I failed to it the first time. I almost got lost in the nether, but since I have the coordinates, I managed to find the way. Flying over a crimson forest, and also some void biomes, I finally arrived at the nether fortress that I visited before. Today's project is building a Witherskull farm. Not just a normal, easy, and simple one, but something that needs lots of resources, as I said before. Before going on to the main project, I would clear out the region of the fortress. At first, I did not know where to start from. Though the fortress was not that big, and even some parts of the fortress were located on Lava Lake. The area itself was large. And also, there were some parts buried under the nether mountains. And some of them are under netherracks connected to the ceiling, which had small caves in it. So, it made me to hesitate at the start. After some confusions on how to dig down the netherracks, I decided to devastate the area from the border. With a mod, one can see the actual border of a structure. And this is the same with Nether Fortress, too. So, I used this mod to find out the border of the Nether Fortress, and dug the nether down to the lava level. This is the buried part, as I said before. Fortunately, the part of the fortress buried under netherracks was not that deep. So, I just went forward and backward repeatedly, just digging the netherracks. While doing projects in the nether dimension, one of the most annoying and also dangerous things is ghast. There is nothing good with this mob. Only the fact that they drop tears of ghast, which is an essential item to revive Ender Dragon. They are so annoying that I would be happy to wipe all of them out from the nether. All of their noises are so unpleasant. The noise they make at normal state, when they get damaged, and when they die. Also their blasts make some blocks to be destroyed or caught in fire. At that time, although this feature helped me some by decreasing the number of netherracks that I had to dig, I tried to wipe them out as soon as I saw them or sensed them. And now the part of the fortress was excavated from the hill of netherracks. As the part is the crossway of the fortress, I dug the netherracks, dividing them into 4 parts. Just digging blocks is a very pleasant thing to do. But in the nether, there are too many threats to be only pleasant. As shown in this part of clip, there are too many netherrack islands nearly floating above lava. If you don't pay attention on, it will lead you directly into the lava. Then, some would say, potion of fire resistance would help work. But potions cannot be stacked in the inventory and so bulky to carry around. And as the project would take so much time, that I could not estimate how many potion I would need. So, I decided to work in the nether without any help of potion bravely. Though this decision led me several times very close to the death. One thing that I love about landscaping work in nether is the fact that netherracks are dug with only one touch with efficiency 5 tools. They even don't need other effects like haste. With this fact, all I needed is to go back and forth continuously, just put a finger on left click button. I would not have decided to start this project if I needed a beacon. And this can be the reason of breaking tools carelessly. Because it is too smooth digging netherracks down. It is too easy to forget the loss of durability. If you do not care enough for the durability of the tools, you would break them so fast. I am not talking about this fact, because I lose almost 5 diamond pickaxes just digging netherracks down. I would tell you another TMI of this project. As you can see in this part of clip, there is no netherrack item on the field. At first, I was intended to take all the resources back. So I prepared lots of shulker boxes with me. I almost made 10 or more shulker boxes, just to collect netherracks that I dug. But it took not that long to find out that 10 or more was not enough for the project. From some point of the video, you can see all the netherracks floating, as I did not take them in my inventory. Instead, I collected other blocks. Definitely nether quartz blocks should be taken, and also nether gold blocks. I also kept soul sands and soul soils, because I don't know when I would need them in the future. Magma blocks? I definitely need them for the future projects, mainly for the huge gold farm. So, I gathered as many magma blocks as I could. Glowstones are also one of the most important resources. Before I found that shroomlights are much easier to acquire. Glowstones were my favorite light source block besides sea lanterns. Even if I use shroomlights mostly on the builds, redstone lamps, which need glowstones as the main material, are also good-looking light source blocks. So, I also gathered glowstones very carefully, not letting them dive into lava. One more thing. What do you think the most valuable resource in the Minecraft world, especially you can find in the nether dimension? Without any doubt, it is ancient debris. Smelting an ancient debris with the furnace, you can get a netherite scrape. And crafting 4 of them with 4 of gold ingot, you can get a netherite ingot. This means that you need 4 ancient debris to get 1 netherite ingot, which can make a netherite tool. And do not talk about smithing template that was added into 1.20 version, as I dug more than 200,000 of netherracks in total only on this project. I have found 10 hidden ancient debris. I was so surprised because I did not expect to meet them this high. Ancient debris are mostly found on Y level of 15, and that is far more below than the Y level of lava surface. I could say that I was so lucky to find 10 ancient debris, or dug too much of the nether biome, more than I needed. There is almost nothing left to talk during digging netherracks down. I think I have explained enough, so please just enjoy the long time lapse of netherracks in the area of the nether fortress disappearing. I will be back again if there is something to say related to the clip at the moment. I should not miss this part of clip. At the beginning, I only had thought that I needed to flatten only the netherracks close to the nether fortress itself. Unfortunately, however, that was not true. The netherracks above the fortress, especially which had enough space for mobs to spawn, were much more important to be dug. Because of the design of the Witherskull farm that I would use, not spawn-proof spaces above the fortress affect more than not spawn-proof spaces beneath the fortress. So, there was no other way but also to dig down this high area too. For me, it was more work than clearing out the netherracks on the ground. Because these bunches of netherracks were hung on the nether ceiling. The shape of the terrain was definitely not friendly for the work. There was always high chance of falling working on the edge of terrain. And also had to carefully investigate where to dig. I decided at first to clear out the whole structure of netherracks hung on the nether ceiling. So I made a long path to the other side of landscape, and only found that it would be much more work that I could manage. And also, I didn't know the fact that I did not need to clear all netherracks out at this moment. What I needed to do was just clearing out the spaces where mobs could spawn on, not clearing out whole netherracks hung on the ceiling. Yes, I changed my mind. If I stuck on the first intention, it was right to clear all the netherracks hung on the ceiling too. But after digging almost 100,000 and more netherracks, I had no other options but to compromise with me. That was so weak of me. Though, I cleared out a floating netherrack island beneath this icicle shape of netherracks. From now on, I will show you the time-lapse of my work 32 times faster. Again, I came back to lower part, as I wanted to excavate the nether fortress out of the netherracks. I had to clear out netherracks under the structure too. I also wanted to show you the progress also in the sight of a bird. But because this part was under the fortress, it covered me of doing my jobs. There was no other way but to use third-person point of view. I thought it would not be too bad even if it was shown from a third-person point of view. But it seems worse than I thought. The screen shakes or changes so much that I might get motion sickness. And everything passed too fast that no one would get what had happened in the scene. What I could only see is that I was carrying out the project with maximum effort, and did not stop doing jobs for the better results. I hope you understand that it was the best try to show you the progress of the project. I finally cleared out all the netherracks in the area of Nether Fortress to the lava level. If I wanted to get rid of lava too, that was not impossible work using sand or gravel. But I didn't because I didn't need to. Look, just clearing out only the terrains above lava level, and dig the fortress out of the netherracks. It makes me so comfortable. This is the reason why I love flattening the whole area. Now, it is time to move on to the next step. Make the nether fortress area spawn-proof. There are several ways to make an area completely spawn-proof. First, you can place water. But there is no way to place water on the ground of nether dimension. I could not do this. Second, you can place incomplete blocks. I don't know exactly what they are called, but these incomplete blocks stop mobs from spawning. There are a couple of types of incomplete blocks, and the most common ones are half slabs or carpets. As the job would be done in the nether, all kinds of carpets, including both wools and moss, have seriously high chance of caught on fire or got blast off. So, only option left for spawn-proofing this nether fortress area is to place half slabs, mainly made of stones. Yes, this was the reason why I built an automatic cobblestone generator in the last episode. I thought I would need tons of cobblestones to make the whole area outside the farm spawn-proof. So I built the generator, gathered several shulker boxes of cobblestones, smelting them with furnaces, and kept them as smooth stones. And this is also a TMI, but I would tell you that I like both color and design of smooth stones more than those of normal stones. So I choose them as the material to be used. Actually, I thought I would need numerous slabs before I had started the project, since the only design that I knew as Witherskull farm needed entire space of radius 128 except the platform to be spawn-proof. So, I prepared materials for placing almost 130,000 of slabs around the farm. However, I found a new design of Witherskull farm, which does not need any kind of spawn-proofing. What I only need was to find a nether fortress on a specific biome, and to calculate the highest Y level of nether fortress. Though I found a simpler one, I could not stop what I was doing, like clearing out whole nether fortress area or placing smooth stone slabs. Unless, this former process would help the farming rate to be more efficient. After placing slabs on the nether fortress, and also on the ground of lava level, the whole area looks like this. Although it consumed great amount of time and materials, seeing the area covered by bright smooth stone slabs is very satisfying. At the moment editing the clips, I found that it would seem better if I cover whole area of lava level with stained glass. Covering both lava and netherracks with stained glass would prevent mobs from spawning, and also show us the original form of ground below the nether fortress. I think I should change it in the future. Again, watching the nether covered with almost 10,000 of smooth stone slab is so satisfying that I can do this more than once more in the future. But I will do better and more perfect than this time, clearing out literally whole netherracks, and lava as well, to the bedrock level, and this will also help preventing mobs spawning too. As a little break, while I was placing slabs under the nether fortress, I found a baby piglin holding a netherrack block. I did not know that he could hold an item which is not gold ingot, golden nugget or so, on his hand. This netherrack block should be certainly the one that I dug before. Because there were tons of floating netherracks on the ground, this little guy would eventually hold it on his hand. And I know that he would not depend since he had something on his hand, and would wander around the area, unless he found other golden items or sank in the lava to death. Should I name him or not? Now, it is the main part of this episode, building the actual farm. So far, it was only the preparation step to build the Witherskull farm. Yes, the whole process of clearing the area and placing slabs for hours and hours was just simple preparation. In fact, the preparation step could have been longer than this if I did not learn a new design of Witherskull farm. As I said before, I prepared enough materials to cover all area of radius 128 with slabs. It would have taken more than twice as much time as I spent, since I just worked only in about 30 or so chunks. But the new design of the farm, luckily, or unluckily, does not need any of these preparations. So, I decided not to stick to the original plan covering enormous area, but just clear out the nether fortress area only. And this decision prevented the former steps consuming more than double of the resources. The Witherskull farm itself is very simple. The first step is building a platform for wither skeletons to spawn, and placing some other blocks like stone wall to prevent ghast from spawning. Zombified piglins, blazes, or skeletons could also spawn on this platform, but could control the spawn rate of other mobs with some methods. When the platform itself was done, I built a small space with iron golem to lure wither skeletons, and also nether portal for wither skeletons to move in. the next step is to build the area to hunt the wither skeletons. So I went up of nether ceiling, with the method that everyone knows, using ladders and ender pearls. And again, went up to the height enough to spawn mobs only on the spawn platform, but not on the other area. Because the bedrock prevents mobs from spawning, did not worry about spawning mobs above the nether ceiling. I built 2 nether portals, one for wither skeletons to come out, and another one for me to get access to this farming area. After the nether part was done, I also worked in the overworld too. This farm is a bit complicated because of coordinate things, because one has to connect overworld and nether dimension with exact coordinate. But if one can connect them correctly, this would be a very good farm to gain Witherskulls with high chances. Like this, building a Witherskull farm was completed. The upper part of the farm looks like this. I mainly used stained glass as the main material, because glass also prevents mobs from spawning, especially ghast, which can blow up the farm and bring a disaster. As a Minecraft player who do not want to leave the farm exposed, I will build a structure around the waiting platform later, with something looks like wither skeleton. Since I had no resources, like concrete powder and wools, I would leave this just as planned for the future. The lower part, mainly the spawn platform, looks like this. Mobs, not only wither skeletons but also blazes, zombified piglins spawn on the platform at certain rate. From those, zombified piglins get attracted by turtle eggs and go to the corner of the platform, and then they despawn because it is 128 blocks away from the player. But wither skeletons see the iron golem on the center, and then walk to it, and find on the only way to it a nether portal, which will send them to the overworld part. The wither skeletons sent to overworld push themselves to the opposite side of platform, and sent back into the nether through another portal. And yes, they come out through the portal just above the player, and they would be hunted for Witherskulls. As the farm completed, I farmed the Witherskulls for 2 hours. And this is the time-lapse record of 2 hours, 64 times faster than normal speed. In 2 hours, I gathered nearly 1 stack of Witherskulls, exactly 52 Witherskulls, with looting 3 enchanted netherite sword. It is not the best rate of farming, but it is enough for making beacons for future uses. As I built the farm, I can just stand here whenever I need Witherskulls, and that is the certain advantage of this farm. I could end this episode with the completion of the farm. But I could not, because I did not do any build-like things in this episode. So, I decided to build a nether center around the portal, which is connected to the nether portal near the spawn base. And also, an iceway leading to the Witherskull farm, since riding a boat on ice is the fastest way to travel long distances without using elytra and fireworks. I cleared out some area to make enough space to build the center. Because it is a kind of temporary nether center, I would not build it too large. I used materials that could be collected mainly in the nether dimension, like smooth basalt, polished and chiseled blackstones, and warped wooden materials. Because the blackstone has navyish black color, these blocks harmonize each other well. I could say this combination of blocks as a color palette. After the nether center was done, I built iceway to the Witherskull farm. The farm is only 500 blocks on X coordinates, and 100 blocks on Z coordinates away from the center. So it would not take long to finish it, I thought. But it was not, since I had to cover the whole iceway properly, to prevent ghasts from blowing the way. And also, I had to spawn-proof the whole way too, to prevent other mobs disturbing me riding the fastest boat on the way. And this somewhat long time-lapse video is the result. Finally, this is the end of the jobs that were planned to be done in this episode. So I will show you here what I have done in this episode, following the path of myself. I place a boat on the iceway, and take the ride to the other side of the way. See how fast it travels. At the end of the way, there is a cactus which turns boat back into an item, and be ready for the next placement. After going through some of the portals consecutively, and also another iceway on the overworld, I finally arrived at the Witherskull farm. With the view of whole Witherskull farm, I would really wrap up this episode. It was very hard to continue to do the repeated jobs, but it was so satisfying for me to just doing the job without any thinking. Also, I was happy to see myself doing huge things that I planned from the first of playing this world. I hope you enjoyed watching this time-lapse-like video, and also enjoyed my new way of editing the video with voices. Please subscribe my channel and leave a like for next projects. Thank you for watching.